Hello ladies and gentlemen, Scared24 here bringing you another Minecraft World War II vehicle tutorial. In this tutorial we're going ahead and build the Type 3 Chinu. The Type 3 Chinu was a medium tank of the Imperial Japanese Army in World War II. Like the Type 1 Chihi, this tank was an improved version of the Type 97 Chiha. It incorporated a Type 3 75mm tank gun, one of the largest Japanese tank guns during the war. The Chinu did not see combat during the war. All produced units were retained for the defense of the Japanese homeland in anticipation for an Allied invasion. So yeah, this is a pretty interesting tank. This kind of is basically the, I guess, almost pinnacle medium tank, I would say, from the Japanese of World War II. I mean, it was kind of their last, one of the last real kind of tanks of the war, and as I mentioned, was never actually used in any combat service. It would have kind of been interesting to see how it fares, but considering it still had pretty light armor, only 20 to 50 millimeters of armor, it still probably would have not stood a chance against the Allied Shermans and just Allied armor in general. So pretty interesting tank nonetheless. Had a pretty decent sized gun on it. There was a version that was known as the Chinu Kai, which did have a longer barrel on it. This one here kind of is that mid-range barrel for the gun, so not the longest barrel compared to that of the Kai version. Overall, it's a pretty cool tank, and it's been a while since we visited Japan and their ground forces, so I felt it would be nice to kind of go ahead and come over here and try to build one of the many tanks we have in this line that are just away in tutorials. So overall, it's a really cool design. I did make quite a few changes from it compared to the previous versions of it that I had seen on the world, so I think it looks a lot better, and is definitely a really cool looking tank. So without further ado, let's go ahead and kind of move in here and take a look at it. Starting off with, we have the front armor here, or the front of the vehicle. Nothing too fancy, your standard stuff. Headlights, the driver's viewport, and it also has a passenger or a co-driver gunner located right next to it. You then have the gun here, so again, pretty straightforward stuff, real kind of simplistic gun. And then you have the turret itself, very boxy, again, simplistic design. The tracks itself, nothing again too crazy, just your standard kind of track layout for a tank. We get in the back here, we have just some little like gearboxes, and then we have the exhaust, the radio antenna, and that's really pretty much the tank. It's a pretty simple, straightforward medium tank, and yeah, just an overall really cool build. Anyways though, without further ado, let's go ahead and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer, layer number 1. Alright guys, so going ahead and move into our first layer here, we will be going ahead and start with layer number 1. For layer 1 to get started with here, we're going to place down another brick upside down stair, basically like so, and then behind this we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a black shulker box, and we're going to place down a black shulker box on its side. We then want to go ahead and grab our polished black stone stairs, and we're going to place down 2 stairs back to back, as well as another black shulker box, another set of these polished black stone stairs, and we're going to go ahead and repeat that one more time. Again, a black shulker box and another 2 polished black stone stairs. We're also going to place down another brick upside down stair here on the very back. After we have that done, we're going to take our dark oak trapdoors. We're going to go ahead and go off the stair 1, 2, 3 trapdoors over, and then an item frame coming off the middle trapdoor with a tripwire hook rotated face downwards. We're going to go ahead and then go behind the row of trapdoors, so we're just going to place down a row 3 of dark oak with top slabs. We're going to go ahead and then go to the last polished black stone stair here, and we're also going to place down a row 3 of those dark oak with top slabs. We'll then fill the inside in here of the tank with our dark oak wood to go ahead and create a nice base here of the vehicle. So just like that. After that's done, we're going to go ahead and basically repeat the same track design we did on the other side, just over here to this side. So again, it's the same exact thing. I'm not going to go ahead and explain it in detail because it is the same thing on both sides. So just like that. Now once we get to this point though, we do want to go ahead and then go to our shulker boxes, and we're going to go ahead and place down item frames on each one of these shulker boxes. Now depending on your game version, kind of depends the extent of how much you can detail these. If you're on Bedrock or Pocket Edition, you're just going to be able to place down a green stained glass paint in those item frames, and that's really about all you can do. If you are on Java, we can also place down a dark oak wood button in the same block space as an item frame, so it allows us to create this kind of cool detail effect here with the button and the item frame. Again, the button and item frame together are going to be only for Java, and if you are not on Java, you'll have to use just the item frame. And the same thing will be done over here to this side as well. So just like that there. Anyways, after we have that all complete, we can go ahead and then grab this banner design. Now I'm not gonna go ahead and go into a loom and spend the time to actually show in the loom how to make them, because they're pretty simple and I can explain them pretty easily. Basically, you're gonna have 2 black banners, and you're gonna go ahead and split each of those 2 banners in half of green. On one banner, the green's gonna be on the right side. The other banner, the green's gonna be on the left side. So you get something that looks like this here. You'll then take a black die, and you're gonna go and do a horizontal line across the middle here for both these banners, and that's really about it. You'll then place these banners here on the side of the polished blackstone stairs, and like that, and you're going to basically place them so that the green portion there is facing toward one another, and that's all you need to do there. Pretty simple, and it kind of helps shows those individual wheels while keeping a little gap in between them. So really nice design there, it works pretty good, and that right there is going to include everything we have there for layer 1, and with that we'll go ahead and jump up to layer number 2. Alright guys, so moving into our next layer, we have layer number 2. For layer 2 to start with, we're going to go and take end portal frames. We're going to go and place down a row 3 here, and then a second row 3 across right behind those. We'll then go ahead and go to the sides here, and we're going to go ahead and place down a green shulker box on its side, coming off the side of those end portal frames. We're also going to place down an item frame coming off the shulker box, as well as a cobweb in the item frame. And then also, again, for Java players, we can place down a dark oak wood button on the side of that shulker box as well, if you're on Java. We're going to go ahead and then place down a dark oak wood trapdoor on the side here of the shulker boxes, as well as taking our dark oak wood signs and doing a row of 3 across those end portal frames. After that is all done, we then want to go ahead and take our green terracotta, and we're going to place down 1, 2, 3 across, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and so we have a total of 3 rows. Then we're going to go and go 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 rows, so it's going to end right on top of that last row of dark oak wood top slabs. On the very back here, we wanted to very simply just place down a mossy cobblestone wall on both sides, a green stained glass pane in the center, an item frame coming off those walls there, and then a tripwire hook in the item frames, which can be rotated face downwards, like so. We then want to go ahead and grab a green shulker box. We're going to place on the side here of the mossy cobblestone walls, as well as an item frame out to the side here, and on the side of that item frame, we do want to place down a green terracotta block, and then a dark oak wood button on the side here of those shulker boxes as well. We also want to place down a dark oak wood trapdoor here, and we're going to go make sure we close that so it lays flat there on the side of the block. After that's all done, we want to go ahead and then grab ourselves some nether brick slabs. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 nether brick top slabs, and same thing over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. After that, we're going to take our item frame. We're going to place on the side of the second from front slab a green terracotta block and a dark oak sign. Again, the sign there is going to be for Java players only. If you're not on Java, you'll just place down the item frame. We're going to go then skip back 2 spaces. So we have our third space here, an item frame, then a green terracotta block, and again the same thing for a sign. And then the second to last slab there, again an item frame, a green terracotta block in the item frame, and a dark oak wood sign if applicable. And we'll just go ahead and take the same design and copy it over to this side. Again, like before, I'm going to go into this a little bit quicker as I've already covered the other side, and it's the same thing. So once we have that all done right there, that is going to wrap up our tracks, and that is going to complete everything we have there for layer number 2 of the build. With that, we'll be going ahead and moving on up to our next layer, layer number 3. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer number 3. For layer 3 to go ahead and get started with here, we want to place down a green carpet on top of these shulker boxes, and that's going to be for Java players. So Java players, go ahead and place down the green carpet. If you're not on Java, then don't place the green carpet. On the left side here, we're going to go ahead and go back 1, 2, 3 dark oak wood trapdoors, and coming off this trapdoor, we're going to place down an item frame and then a snowball in the item frame like that for our front headlights. On the other side, we're going to go and do a little bit of something different. You can obviously do the same design with the slabs, or sorry, the trapdoors if you want to. For me, I'm just going to add like a little bit of cargo, a little bit of tarp or something wrapped up here. And this is going to be using 2 birchwood slabs, an item frame coming off the front, and snowball. So you can do that little detail there, kind of help breaks up the symmetry of the front. Or you can just go ahead and place down the 3 dark oak wood trapdoors. And speaking of which, we'll have 1 trapdoor on the end here. So again, you can kind of pick and choose between the 2 sides, but I like doing kind of one on both, one side different from each other, just because it kind of helps break up that pretty plain front. We're going to go ahead and place down 2 green terracotta blocks like so, and then we want to go and then grab a green shulker box, and we're going to go ahead and place it in the spot like so. We're going to place down an item frame on the side of that shulker box, as well as a black bed that's going to be in the item frame, rotated sideways, and then a dark oak wood sign on the across it like that if you are on Java. We'll also go ahead and grab ourselves a chain, and for our hull-mounted machine gun, we're going to go ahead and place down a chain right here to the left side. After that's done, we're going to take our green terracotta, we're going to place down 1, 2, and 3 rows of 3 going back. We're going to go ahead and go to the sides, and we're going to go and take our dark oak wood stairs, and we're going to go and do the same thing, well, with 3 stairs going along the side here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then after that is all done, we're going to place down a polished blackstone block here in the middle, a green terracotta block to both sides, and we're going to go and continue on with a mossy cobblestone wall to the sides here as well, with a dark oak wood sign on the side here of that wall. After that, we're going to go ahead and then take our end portal frames. We're going to place down 2 rows of 3 going back, so we have 1, 2, and 2 rows of 3. Then we want to go ahead and start with our right side. We're going to place down a stripped spruce wood block on our right side. We'll grab a tripwire hook, and we're going to place it on the side here of the block. And on the other side, we're just going to go ahead and very simply place down an anvil. After we have that done, we're going to take our dried kelp blocks. We're going to place down 1, 2, and 1, 2 going back. An item frame on the end here. A black concrete block in the item frame. And again, like we've been doing here for Java players, we'll also place down a dark oak wood sign on the back here. We'll also take dark oak wood buttons. We're going to place on the side of the kelp blocks and also on the top here. So again, just like that around those dried kelp blocks. And after we have that all done there, that is going to pretty much wrap up everything we have there for layer number 3. And with that, we'll be going ahead and jumping up to our next layer, layer number 4. Before we go ahead and move on up to layer 4, I do want to go ahead and also mention that on the back here, we are supposed to place down a row 3 of dark oak wood slabs. So make sure that those slabs get added on there. But once you do have that added on, you're free to move on to layer number 4. Moving into our next layer here, we have layer 4. For layer 4 to start with, we're going to place down a mossy cobblestone wall on top of this block here. And then to the side of that, we're going to place down a green stained glass pane. So 1 to each side. We're going to go forward from that wall with a row of 1 and 2 of dark oak wood top slabs like that. We're going to go back from this with a row of 3 of green terracotta going across the space here, and then a green stained glass pane on both sides. We're going to place down another row of 3 going across, and a mossy cobblestone wall again on both sides. We then want to go ahead and take our dark oak wood stairs. We're going to place down a dark oak wood upside down stair on both sides, a green terracotta block in the center, and then a zombie head on both ends or both sides of the stair there. We then want to place down 1, 2, 3 dark oak wood top slabs across. We'll grab another brick fence post, and we're going to also place on top of those mossy cobblestone walls. After that is all done there, that is pretty much that's it for layer 3, layer number 4. Pretty simple, straightforward layer. And with that, we'll be probably just going ahead and moving into our final layers here, layers 5 through 7. Alright guys, moving into our final layers here, we have actually layers 5 through 8. For these layers to go ahead and get started with, we're going to place down a dark oak wood stair that's going to go on top of this wall like so. We then want to go ahead and grab a green bed, we're going to place it here, and then going forward from the green bed, we're going to place down 1 and 2 dark oak wood slabs, or actually sorry, 3 dark oak wood slabs forward. On the bottom of this last slab, we're going to place down a dark oak wood trapdoor, and then a dark oak wood sign on both sides of the slab, as well as an item frame coming off the front there of that, and in that item frame we're going to place down a black concrete block, as well as a dark oak wood sign across the front there again for Java players to go ahead and make your muzzle break there on the front of the vehicle. After that, we want to go ahead and continue on by going ahead and taking our green terracotta. We're going to place down a row 3 that goes across here. We'll then place down a second row 3, a third row, and a fourth row going all the way down to go ahead and complete our turret. On the very back here of the turret, we're going to place down a spruce wood trapdoor like so. And on the side here, right above the mossy cobblestone wall, we're going to place down a zombie head on the side of that wall that's going to basically act like that. We're also going to take dark oak wood trapdoors, and we're going to place them on the front 2 blocks like that. And then on the sides here, we have this banner that's kind of just to help emphasize it's Japanese. It's basically a green banner. We have a white basically it's a white banner that we went ahead and placed on a green line across the top, a green line across the bottom, not in half, but like the lower thirds and the top third. And then we have a red dot in the middle. It's a really simple banner to make. Again, not going to go into the loom because it's pretty straightforward, but that'll just go there to kind of help show, again, it's a little bit of it's a Japanese tank. That's really all that's for. We'll then go ahead and grab our end rods and also our iron bars. And we're going to place down an end rod here, and then we're going to go ahead and go up 1 and 2 iron bars like that. And same thing here. We're going to place down our end rod, and then 1 and 2 iron bars. So it actually is layers 5 through 7. So yeah. Anyways though, after that, we're going to go ahead and place down an item frame here, and then we're going to place down a green terracotta block. We then want to place down 1 and 2 dark oak wood trapdoors back to the sides here, we're going to place down a spruce wood trapdoor, and then a spruce wood slab, and then 2 dark oak trapdoors here across the back. And after we have that all done right there, that is going to complete everything we have there for layers 5 through 7. And with that, that is going to complete my tutorial here for the Type 3 Chinu medium tank. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this build and are able to put it to good use. If you do end up using this build, I do ask that you guys give me proper credit for it. This can be a thing from a sign of the build, link to my channel or this video if this does bring you